Good day, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while that I posted a video on YouTube. So today, we will be talking about the difference between teacher-centered and learner-centered approach in adapting material. Okay, so as we will be discovering something today together with my friend from Talisay City, Cebu. So, alright, so he is Maghaway National High School, DepEd Talisay, a senior high school teacher 3 and school research coordinator, part-time instructor of Cebu Technological University main campus. Let's give it up to Mr. Janelle C. Garma.
All right, thank you so much,
Mr.
Jerson Antiporta. So I have a good vibe, no, for just like I'm hosting a great event. All right. So once again, good day, everyone. So uh, um, asked to give insights, to give data for this activity. So I will be doing my very best, no, very best to give the accurate information. All right. So for me, in my experience as an educator, the teacher-centered approach is the old curriculum where we are engaged with, where the teacher is the main source of information. So the teacher is the do this and do that portion. So technically, there is a development from a student. There is an actual learning from a student. However, they are less engaged. On the other hand, the student learning approach is the teacher stand as a facilitator, which the teacher just simply provides the instruction, and the students do their task to practice, to put into action, and to engage themselves well in a deep manner to the certain activity. So I believe that the two approach differs each other upon considering a good material in teaching, and considering a good material as a best resources of giving the information to the student. That's it.
All right, so thank you so much, Mr. Garma, no? So, okay, mga ka-viewers, no? So, as what Mr. Garma said nga, teacher-centered is somewhat like the teacher is the only source of knowledge. Wherein, the learner-centered is somewhat like all of us are involved, engaged, and somewhat like it says nga, na siya win-win situation. Both side, or to be more specific, that teacher and students are learning. So, no? Alright, so let's move on to our questions. So, na-added questions, no? Alright, so first on top is, how do you choose your materials to effectively teach your students, Mr. Gama?
Um, what was how did you choose your materials to effectively teach your students? All right, so first, as an educator, you have to consider the syllabi, the syllabus. If the certain material is in line with your stated syllabus, if you're teaching in tertiary, and if you're teaching in K to 12 curriculum, you have to make sure that the most essential learning competencies, is aligned with the activities that you are going to use, or with a certain tool that you are going to use. In my end, I was able to create a manual, which it is a supplementary manual, which will help the students learn more in learning major courses in humanities and social sciences. So I made sure that every activities are aligned with the stated competencies for a certain quarter. So to make sure that the material I am using is quality polished, and of course it is ensuring that the output of the material is to make the students learn effectively.
Wow, very well said, Mr. Garman, no? So, alright, so next on top is, what materials did you utilize to teach your students effectively before the class became its new normal? So it is something like it's pertaining the pandemic, sir.
Before pandemic, correct?
Yes, before
No.
pandemic.
All right. So what materials did I utilize to teach my students effectively? Before the pandemic, as we are having I am applying a multimodal approach in my teaching. So I make sure that the students can learn efficiently and can comprehend well. So I made sure that I use multimodal approach. What is multimodal approach? This is ensuring that uh, every learners is unique, no, unique learner. So I made sure that there's a certain activity that suits to the certain learners, and I am also using my self-made manual in teaching particular courses in senior high school. While teaching in college, we are using the university-made how do we call this one, materials to as our references in teaching. Uh, Technically, there's no best material or there's no least material, no, in delivering a certain topic in delivering your um, your topic in class. However, we have to consider the content, no, the content and the engagement of this material to your students. So that's the two dapat we put highlights in consideration for choosing a good material in delivering your topic in class. That's
All right, so that's very good, no? So now let's proceed to number three. How does the material assist you and your pupils or learner in comprehending the subject?
okay. Thank you for that, Jerson. So the materials that I've used in my teaching, no, before pandemic are quality checked by Department of Education, as well as the in tertiary education. So I believe it helped me, no, it assists me a lot in checking the progress of my learners because. In my course material, I cannot actually share it with you right now. However, I cannot, no, because we were recording it. It there is a progress report at the end of every topic. There is a progress report, and there is a particular the students will be giving an insight to how are they learning. So we can check it through the assessment. We can check it how they engage yourselves to the performance task or to the projects that is stipulated in the material and so we can how do we call cross meet halfway, no, so if the students will say I am learning indeed in a certain topic but the students are their grades or their scores in the said activities or performances are not that good, then there might be a discrepancies. But if it will coincide, if the materials, no, really helped me and assisted me to check the progress of my learners in every topic that is given to them.
Okay, thank you so much for that. It is very wonderful answer, no? And it is very learning. Okay, so for the last question, let's have which of the two teaching centered approaches is best for you as a teacher? The teacher centered or the learner centered approach? And why is that?
All right, thank you so much. For me, since I'm a 21st century educator, so technically, if technically I must choose the learner centered approach. No, but however, let's also give credit to teacher centered approach because not all the time the learner centered approach give the data or enable the students learn and understand. There must be the teacher first. So it's how do we call this one? It's a mixture of teacher and learner centered approach. If that's no teacher learner centered approach, why? Because there is, as you said earlier, it's a win-win situation. Because the teacher is there to give the data, the teacher is there to give the information, and then after, as the teacher as a manager, first is the teacher as a manager. The teacher will provide the information the topics after the teacher as a facilitator, because we will be applying now the learner-centered approach. So the teacher as facilitator, the teacher will guide the students to learn step by step in every activity. So for me, the boot, the two suits, no, in teaching, there's no best, but we can actually use the two approach and merge it as one to ensure that the learning will take place in any event, and also to ensure that every learners will comprehend and understand the topic, not just because we are already doing the learner-centered approach. It will not automatically that the students will learn. And if we are using teacher-centered approach, it will not automatically that the students will not learn. So it will be case to case. But for me, the best approach is to use the two approaches. It's the teacher learner centered approach, where there will be a giving, no, in Filipino we call it malayang talakayan. So in this malayang talakayan, the teacher as a manager, after the role of a teacher as a manager, the teacher as a facilitator, where he or she facilitates the learning process of every student. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, so thank you so much. You are very informative, Mr. Garma. I believe that our future educators are learned something from this video. Okay, so again, this is Jerson and Antiporta, and I hope you will continue watching my videos so soon. And thank you and goodbye.